Good morning. Today I want you to learn about using the different tools available to manage the risk of your projects. So if you remember, we talked about a risk management process for a project includes 4 processes. The first one, you want to be able to use risk breakdown structure and risk profile to identify your risks. The second, once you identify risk, you want to be able to use the risk assessment form and risk availability metrics to help you assess the risk and its impact on your project success or failures. And once you assess your risk, you want to have the different response strategy called risk response metrics. And lastly, you want to be able to manage scope changes or scope creeping by making sure all the changes requests have to go through a called change request forms. So I'm going to quickly show you the example that I want you to be able to deliver. So first, for risk identification, your team need to be able to come up with this called risk breakdown structure that begin with the risk, your project name, and coming up with different category. In each category, you want to have a specific risk. For instance, nowadays when you are doing a concert, you have to think about the weather, so you don't call it external. So I will let your team decide what you want to do, and also think about all the coronavirus, the pandemics. So maybe that's another risk, and you can call it a pandemic or external risk. But for every specific risk you come up with, make sure you have a little bit explanation, otherwise people have no idea what you mean by technical requirement. But when they see the explanation, a requirement stable or not, then people understand what you mean by that. So the next thing is, once you have all the risks identified, you want to be able to assess if those risks surface, how will they affect the project triple constraints, the cost, time, scope, and even quality. And the more impact you have, the higher score you need to rank them. And that will give you the ability to come up with the risk you identify, your risk breakdown structure, and then based on this number, and you try to assign to get as a team in terms of the degree of the likelihood and impact of each risk on your project success or failure, and when those risks will be triggered. Once you're done with that, you try to map that into a matrix. As you can tell, the score is based on likelihood and impact. So you go back to the previous, the interface problem had 4 likelihood and 4 impact. And that will allow you to map the interface problem right here on the upper right corner. As you can tell, they use color. So on the upper right corner, meaning the risk has a strong impact and very likely to have. And you want to highlight them in red, meaning that you have to pay attention to them. And of course, if anything that was having a lower impact or low likelihood, then you give them a green. And something in between. The step 3 is you have to think about when you have risk, how you'll be able to mitigate, avoid, transfer, or retain the risk. And what you have to do, you have to come up with a risk response strategy. You have all the risk events that you have identified, and you have different risk response strategies, and what will be your contingency plan, and what will be the trigger, and who will be the one responsible for. Lastly, it's about the tracking. So whatever change requested because of the risks. So say for instance, do you want to have a concert and then you're expecting a celebrity to show up, but then he or she gets sick. So now you have to find the concert, a celebrity. So you have to submit a change request, and then you have to go through a review and to approve or not. Because different severity, they probably charge you different dollar amount, needs different time to schedules. So you have to update your point of records and distribute for actions. And that's why I want you to be able to make propose a change as a team, and I want you to fill out the form and do assessment and see how the changes that you request will be impact on any of those the project triple constraints or more. And then who will be the one approve or disapprove. And once you'll be able to show me that you how to use different tool in each steps of the project risk management process, that shows that you are good project managers, also a good risk managers. Let me know if you have a question. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing your teams, the A5 assignments. Have a great day. Have a wonderful day.